Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. Now it's Wilson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Set! Green, 39!
They go play action here on first down. He dumps it off to Drake, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night. Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The Miami Dolphins starting lineup now, and Kenyon Drake, a guy to watch.
He has the ability to affect the game in so many different ways. In the return game, bringing it back himself. Also can be a gunner on the punt coverage team and did that very well at Alabama. But has the ability to run the ball out of the backfield as well as catch it. Kenyon Drake, you can use him so many different ways.
On second down, it's Drake. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs.
Set, 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And despite the 3 touchdown passes he threw, there's a lot to work on this week, wasn't there?
Oh, ton of interception.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going really with almost a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not going to work for you well at all. Not over the long haul. The beauty, though, somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, they still got the win last week. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. 77 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. And maybe starting the campaign for another Offensive Player of the Week award in the AFC.
Yeah, strike up the band, right? They're going to lead him along, and the band being that offensive line, he's locked into the rhythm of what they're doing up front, and he's definitely off to that great start, a 2nd straight week.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Butker now to kick this one away. Now it's Wilson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Time to check the defensive starters here for Kansas City. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now a handoff for Drake. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch
Automatic
the football.
first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll look to throw here. Coleman has it here right side. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 1st down, Drake. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 18 carries, 70 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Now let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll drop the throw. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On the give, this is Drake. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not it. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And they better put that ball to the side because with that catch, he's a new single-season receiving yards record holder.
What a fantastic year. And we saw it start early, didn't we, partner? Right out of the gate. We knew he was going to have a tremendous year, but who knew it would culminate in breaking this all-time record?
Butker on for the PAT. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Butker now to kick this one away. So now here come the Dolphins. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Now let's go. Blue Niners.
They'll get it to Drake running left. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll set up a throw. And it's caught by Parker. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Lucky 56.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
We got three. All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Parker, the intended target. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And now here comes Kansas City. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself, thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And the kick by Butker is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Running, it's Drake. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Drake. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami. After this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. He'll look to throw. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. In that 1 o'clock time frame, a lot to choose from. But let's highlight the game in Philadelphia. A big one for the Eagles as they get set to take on the visiting New York Giants. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window, one being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos. And then lastly, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A toss play to Hunt. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. In on the stop defensively, ReikodaMurkman's.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Hunt. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Set, 3-19.
Counter play, Drake. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
A run, it's Clement. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle there by Eli Harold.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Dolphins on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4.
Now let's go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination of whether to actually challenge the play or not. And he
will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyler Kroft, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And now here comes Kansas City. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Charles Harris in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. play fake here on first down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a big play there for Miami. 41 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Right back to Drake. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here we go now.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. He finds Coleman. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll set up to throw. He dumps it off to Drake. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third and a few inches.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote onto your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there for KC. 46 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll toss it to Hunt. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, second down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
He gets it complete to Harris. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a one-score game. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. LaShawn Sims with the INT. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Dolphins on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. Certainly they want to win this game, but down 3, they know what they need to do. Get in field goal range, at least have a chance to tie.
And if you approach it the right way, you almost have a safety net. Knowing just a field goal gets it done. You don't press for the touchdown, but you take it if the opportunity comes. If the opening's there, someone slips in the secondary and you get a big play. But otherwise, get the 3, put that on the board, and try to extend the game.
They'll be trying to muster 3. Of course, they'd love the score to win it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with time running out. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the 4th. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Butker now to add the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Butker now to kick this one away. Now it's Wilson. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now you've got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. And they can't connect. Incomplete. That stops the clock with 3 seconds left, so probably one final play here in the 2nd quarter, barring a penalty. Here's Hunt. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Kansas City, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you